Welcome to The Hub. This is the place where you learn all you need to know about the world of accountancy and finance. Now, it may not sound like the most exciting subject out there, but there's a lot more to working in these fields than you might think. And you'll be pleased to know that you don't need to be the next Einstein to earn pretty good money too. In fact, anyone can give accountancy and finance a go. If you like meeting people, or if you like trying to solve puzzles, then you're probably just as suited as your school's biggest brain box. Today, I have a few folks who are going to take you through the A to Z of accountancy and finance. From Nowtel Carrier Services, we have financial controller Michelle Fagan, who in her spare time likes to play accordion to her little dog Lucius. We have financial advisor Darren O'Reilly. Don't mess with him, he's a black belt in Taekwondo. There's Sophie Garton from KPMG. When she's not hard at it in the office, she's playing hard on the pitch in tag rugby. And from the world of manufacturing, we have trainee accountant David Kennan, who loves downhill mountain biking. Grilling our panel of experts will be 3 school students and wannabe finance and accountancy stars of the future. We got Amy, Dan and Richie, and they'll be asking our panel all the questions that you want answered, from what skills you need to how much money you can make. But first things first, let's get the basics sorted. What exactly is accountancy? What exactly is finance? Here's an attempt at the definition.
Can I define accountancy and finance? Probably not, in truth. No. Next question.
Accountancy is more than number crunching.
To sum up accountancy in one sentence would be quite difficult. It's quite a diverse subject. It involves every different area of business, so it's quite interesting and engaging topic to learn about.
What is accounting and finance? It's banking, it's managing a business, it's maintaining books. It's a hugely diverse area.
Did you know that in finance and accountancy, there are literally hundreds of jobs to choose from? You don't simply have to be a chartered accountant or a financial officer. This job could take you in many directions. Our student Amy has been on her iPad to ask a man who knows all about the career side of things.
Hi Fred, how are you?
I'm very well, Amy. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks. So what do you do?
I'm a guidance counsellor. I work in a secondary school. I deal with students who are at Leaving Cert, doing their Leaving Certificate and contemplating what goes on next after school.
Why do we need accountants and finance experts?
Well, all business relies on cash coming in and cash going out, and they've got to monitor their costs. And accountants form a crucial role within business, because what they do is they look at the processes that's happening in the business world.
How many jobs are out there, and what kind of jobs can school leavers aim for?
There are an extensive number of jobs. I couldn't give you an exact figure, but a school leaver can get into it in various ways. They can get in on one level as an accounting technician, where they keep the accounts of a company, or they can go on through university education, or even directly training with a firm of accountants to become a professionally qualified accountant.
So, can you make big money, enough to buy shoes and handbags?
You certainly can. Now, it depends what level you come in at, and you needn't expect huge money straight away. But once you get yourself qualified, once you get into the accountancy area, work as an accountant technician is quite well paid. But once you get into being a fully qualified accountant, the money is rather good.
How do you get a start in this sector? Do you have to go to college?
Now, I would highly recommend going to college and getting an initial qualification in business or accounting. If you're going for the full accountancy, trying to get in to become a professional accountant, chartered, certified or management accountant, it's worth going as far as you can in terms of education before you start the actual work part.
If you want a bit of variety in terms of job options, is it a good career to choose?
There's a huge variety of areas you can get into. You can basically go wherever you want. You can use it to get into marketing, to get into personnel, to get into any of the areas that are of interest to you. Or you can set up your own business if that's what you wish.
Do you need to be brilliant in maths to work at accountancy?
You don't need to be brilliant at maths. What you need more than that is to be able to communicate it. You can understand the figures and you can see the patterns in the accounts or the figures or whatever. But what you need most of all is to be able to convey that and to communicate that to the people you have to work with.
Thank you very much, Fred. That's been really useful.
Thank you very much, Amy. And I wish you well in your future choices.
Bye.
In the past, accountancy has had a bit of a public image issue. Old men in grey, dusty suits, sitting behind desks doing sums. But it's time we got real and showed you that in the 21st century, the last thing you need is an old grey suit to be a success story.
My name is Marie Tracy. I'm an audit partner here in Ernst & Young in Dublin.
Hello, I'm Joe Bollard. I'm an international tax partner at Ernst & Young based here in Dublin.
With a firm like ours, Ernst & Young, we work all over the world. It's so cool when you're in Sydney and you see the offices. It's so cool when you're in Times Square and you see the Ernst & Young offices. It just gives you a huge buzz. I can't emphasise the variety of what we do on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes people say to me, what is your typical day like? And at this stage in my career, there's probably no typical day.
It's a very dynamic and exciting place to work. So you're working with really smart people, both our clients and in terms of the people I'm working with. So you get a lot of reward from working with bright people.
To me, it offers you variety over your whole career. You're not doing the same thing for the next 40 years.
I know a lot of people I've come across in my career that are accountants, that are in operations roles, that are in marketing roles, that are in very different roles from, if you like, what the traditional view of what an accountant would be.
You never hear of unemployed accountants, which is one of the few professions I think that can say that at the moment.
With your career, you've got to pick something that you truly like. Accounting opens up a wide range of opportunities in terms of career path, but ultimately my own advice and what's worked for me is selecting for something that I truly enjoy.
I love being able to explore different countries, different cultures, and being in this job was the right move for me, and it allows me to do that.
The one daunting prospect to getting into any career is the job interview. So we've turned the tables and let our students grill the professionals.
So tell me what to do.
I'm a trainee accountant with KPMG.
Describe for me a day in your life.
Oh, a day in my life, well, in work. So I work in one of the big four, so I work as an auditor. And what an auditor is, I'll be going out to companies and checking that their financial statements are correct and what everything they're saying is true and fair.
And how do you find your way into such a big firm?
Well, I actually went a bit of a different way. I did a degree in engineering, so I'm a qualified electrical engineer. But I wanted to learn the business side of an engineering company, and I thought accountancy is the best way to learn it. So I went into my formal interview in KPMG, and they asked me why did I want it. And I wanted to really get into the business background of renewable energy companies.
Yeah, and are there any perks? Do you get a free car or anything like that?
Not at my stage, I wish. But we have great study leave, great nights out. It's pretty sociable. It's great being part of one of the big fours, I'd say. If
I wanted to get into accountancy, what are some good steps to take?
I think the main first step is getting a third level education. I think it doesn't matter what it is, something that you're really interested in. Because where I've applied to KPMG and I did an engineering background and they really like that. So just get a third level and do well and enjoy college.
Thanks very much, Sophie.
No problem, Dan.
If variety is the spice of life, maybe this is the career for you. As careers correspondent with the Irish Times, Brian Mooney explains.
Accountants and people in the financial section of any business are the people who ultimately will determine whether the business continues or not. They will monitor whether the product or service being provided is ultimately profitable in the market. And accountants, therefore, ultimately will determine the success or failure of any business. The skills which you acquire in studying for accountancy and in becoming a fully qualified accountant are vastly used throughout all employment opportunities for management positions. So accountancy, as well as being a job in itself, is an entry route to higher management. Accountants and those with accountancy skills will always be required. So those with such qualifications will be continuously employed right up to ultimately the moment you choose to retire, because it is a generic skill within the economy that always has clients. Being in accountancy is not ultimately about money. It is about the satisfaction and the self-fulfillment from doing the sort of jobs that those who qualify with accountancy qualifications get to do.
Starting out in finance can be pretty intimidating, but it can help if you meet somebody who's jumped through all the entry hoops and landed themselves a pretty good job, as Richie's about to find out.
What's your job?
So I'm a financial advisor, so that involves meeting and advising clients on their finances and their financial situation. Although given the small organisation I work in, my role is not purely financial advice. I work in many different areas, whether it be finance, credit control and marketing, so I've gotten a diverse feel for all the different departments within the organisation.
What do you do day to day?
So day to day is quite different. You never know what's going to be working in. One day I could be in marketing, the next day I could be in finance. Because of the small scale of the organisation, it gives me that opportunity to get involved in different areas.
What do you like about your job?
I like that the job is constantly changing. It's different every day. I get to work and meet with different people in the community, given that it's a community-based organisation. So we go out to different schools and we teach kids about finance, and we do all different sorts of stuff, so it's quite changing.
How much do you get paid?
Well, let's say the tax man gets a good bit of it lately, but the wage is quite good, that you can get different, your earning potential grows as you go up through the exams, so as you reach different stages you get a different wage scale, so that's quite good that as you get a reward for passing each exam as you go along.
And what are the perks?
The perks would be your education gets paid for as part of a training programme within the organisation, so any exams you need to sit, any books, anything like that gets paid for by the company. And we also get all our phone bills paid for us, so that's quite a good perk as well. And we've got a lot of social outings and staff nights out, so that's another good aspect of the job.
So would you recommend it as a good career option?
I'd recommend accountancy to anyone looking to get into the business environment. As I said, accountancy is not purely based on accounts. There's all different areas you can work in, whether it be marketing, credit control. Accounts gives a good overview of the whole organisation and how it works, so accountancy is a good solid foundation to start your career in any kind of industry in.
Thanks very much for talking about it.
Once you've got the basics under your belt, whether it's experience on the job or a qualification, your working world isn't just limited to accountancy firms or finance houses, as I discovered when I met Carlotta Guisardo. Hi Carlotta, how are you?
I'm good, very good, thank you very much.
So tell me where you work and what do you do?
In my company we do trade shoes, and I'm an account manager. The accountancy part of my job, it's more a support that I do to my boss. He wants to know what's the history of this customer, how many shoes we sold to him, what are the customers that we didn't sell that much in the last period, so we might go back to them and say, hi, hello, do you remember me and do you want to buy more shoes?
So in your job, Carlotta, you need more skills than just being an accountant?
Oh yeah, totally, definitely, because you need to do the bookkeeping, you need to record all the numbers. But if you do it, it's because you need to give these figures to somebody. You need to relate to the customer, you need to relate to your boss, or you need to relate to your colleague sitting just beside you that she has to finalize something else. So it's not just recording numbers, but it's doing part of an overall job.
So in your case, and for many other people, accountancy is a gateway for so many other opportunities.
It's something that you can use in every sector, in lots of different departments.
So good fundamentals.
Good fundamentals for any sector you're working for.
So you work in accounting and you work in fashion. What's the best thing about your job? I mean, do you get free shoes?
Oh yes, of course. At least once a week. Yeah, change shoes every week. It's very important.
One of the advantages of a career in accountancy and finance is the flexibility. Temping can be a great way to get a taste of work without putting all your eggs in one basket with a single company. Dan's about to get on Skype now and ask a recruitment specialist all about this and a whole lot more.
Hi Maureen.
Hi Dan, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks. If I walk through your door, what would happen? What's the process?
We would go through your CV, get an overview of what you're looking for, and then we'd invite you into our office for a full interview. At that point, you would meet a specialist consultant that works within your area of expertise, and then you would have quite a thorough interview with that individual. What's very important to us within Hays is finding people the right job, because we believe the right person can transform a business, and likewise, the right job can transform a person.
What type of qualifications do you look for in candidates?
Within accountancy and finance, yes, you can go and do it and train on the job and learn the skill. However, it's one of a number of professions that actually does require you to go and do a professional qualification for you to really continue on your career. And absolutely, if I was meeting somebody and meeting you, Dan, in the morning, I would be saying to you, absolutely go and get a professional qualification.
What's the difference between temping and permanent?
Temping, as it probably defines itself, it's a temporary position. It starts at one point and there's a finishing date at the other. They normally are as a minimum 3 months, okay? But it can be you're paid weekly, 3 months, it might go on to 6 months, it might go on to 9 months, okay? Then permanent, they're like a permanent contract. So somebody's offering you a permanent job, a job for life almost. And in that, you have a contract with that company that's bound by a month's notice either way.
Is temping a good way to dip your toe into accountancy?
Yes, temping is a great way to find out if you would like accountancy and finance or that type of industry or that profession. Go out and find out, get a job somewhere, even work for free if you can, but just find out if this is something that you would like to do. And that's what temporary or doing a temporary position can offer you. You can find out whether you actually like accountancy and finance or not.
Thank you, Maureen.
Thank you, Dan. It's been an absolute pleasure and best of luck.
Now it's time to turn the spotlight on Michelle as Amy finds out all about her job.
So are you ready for the questions?
I am indeed.
What is a financial controller?
Financial controller is somebody who runs all the finances in a company. Cash reconciliation and cash management, board meetings, and basically producing all the accounts for the directors to know how the company is performing.
Now be honest with me, is it a boring job?
It's actually more interesting than a general accountancy job because you get involved in every aspect of the finances. And also managing the cash flow is really interesting on a day-to-day basis. It's like managing your own bank account. So some days there's some and some days there's no money. So it's quite interesting.
How did you find your way into finance and banking?
When I was in school, they had a careers day and they asked people if they were interested in going to speak with an accountancy firm. So a bit like what we're doing now, I went and we were asked loads of questions of accountants, and I went for an interview with one of the accountancy firms and I got offered the job and then started there straight from school.
How much money do you earn?
Well, 50 plus, we'll put it in that bracket.
Okay.
So it's really good money. If you put the time and effort in, you can really work your way up.
What are the people like that you work with? Are they nice or?
The people that I work with are based in London, so they're very interesting. I go over and see them once a month and they take me out for lots of drinks and lots of parties, so they're really nice people to work with.
Sounds nice.
How far you go in accountancy is down to you. If you want to head to the very top, you don't necessarily have to work for a big multinational firm. For a taste of what it might be like to go out on your own and the pros and cons, Dublin-based John McElhenney will talk you through it.
As a partner in a chartered accountancy firm, I have responsibilities at all various levels of the business, from supervising and reviewing audit accounts and tax work to hiring staff and even marketing the firm. The pros of working for myself is it gives me the flexibility to build my business and to reap the rewards of that work that I put in. I suppose the difference between working for a small firm and a large firm, and my view would be somewhat biased being from a small practice, is that in a small firm you're going to get a wider exposure to all the various disciplines. Day to day I don't know necessarily what I'm going to be doing. I could be out with a client, I could be in doing tax work, I could be advising on UK property management. I really don't know each day when I come in what I'm going to face and what challenges I'm going to encounter, and that's what I love about my job. Accounting and finance is a great career to take, and really with a business or accounting qualification, you know, your world is your oyster.
Businesses, whatever they do, can't survive without bright young professionals working out their accounts and finances. And we have a special guest whose job is to do just that, and Dan's about to meet him.
What do you do to help your company operate as a business?
So basically, I do probably the most important thing and that is payroll. It's a big responsibility. If people don't get paid, they're not going to come to work. So.
And what do you like about your job?
You get a good insight into the business. You get to see what's being paid out, what money's coming in.
Why would you recommend an accountant career?
The main reason I'd recommend it is that every company needs an accountant. There's lots of jobs in accountancy, and you get paid really well. when you pass your exams.
Is there a lot of travel with your job? Do you go abroad at all or anything?
Yeah, well, I'm due to go to Texas in October for a month to do an audit, so, you know, I can't wait for that.
All right, thanks for talking to me, Dave.
No problem. Best luck to your leaving cert.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Getting the right qualifications for the right job is vital if you want to be a success. But how do you know what to study and where to apply? Well, luckily for us, Richie knows just the man to ask.
Hi, Ivor.
Hello, Richie. Nice to hear from you.
Can you tell me, what exactly do you do?
Well, Richie, I'm the man in charge of the CAO. Applicants fill out all their data. My job and my team of staff that are here, their jobs are to make sure that data is correct. And we validate it, and then basically we present all the information to the institutions so that they can see who exactly is applying to what courses. Then, when the results come out, we literally just match your results to your application, score your points, and then hopefully you'll get your place in college.
How many people are applying for accountancy courses each year?
We have approximately 10,000 students out of a total of 75,000 that have indicated that they're interested in doing an accountancy and finance course. These 10,000 people have chosen about 5 different accountancy courses in their list of 10 choices.
Why is accountancy and finance a good career option?
People are attracted into it because there's jobs. All businesses will need accountants. All businesses will need people with a business or accounting background. So even if you don't get a job specifically as an accountant, it will always be a benefit to you in actually gaining a job.
Thank you, Ivor.
No problem, Richie. That's what we're here for.
We're out of time in the hub, but I hope by now you have a better picture of what it takes to work in the world of accountancy and finance. Remember, you don't need a grey old suit or to be a professor in maths to make it. All you need is a bit of drive, enthusiasm and determination. Best of luck.
It's given me a self-confidence and a self-worth that's very personal to me. And I think it's that sort of inner pride that it's given me that I think is probably the most valuable thing to me that I've taken out of the career.
Accountancy for me has expanded my career potentials, it's increased my earning potential, and it's given me a solid foundation which to build my career on.
Accounting had a massive impact on my life. I met my better half in this profession. He mightn't say the same thing, mind you.
For me, accounting for me was a passport to my future career, and its only limitation was my own ambition.
It helps you a lot to find a job that gets you a salary every month. Shoes every week? No.